All right. I don't know live right now, no, but you know some me live. Right, there's so much people there. There's so much people up.
Bluetooth mode.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say good morning. I don't want to have this thing too loud, so I want to listen attentively because I don't want to wait nobody. Right? Let me get this Bluetooth here. Oh, it already on it. Okay, perfect. Let me turn it on. Please, guys, just tap up the screen for me. No, thank you very much. Now, let me go and play this audio here. See? I upload the video a while ago. Anybody want to watch it, then can watch it. A part time I go play. Alright. Part time I go play. See that video I just dropped it a while ago.
Let me read this news item from March 3, 2022.
Right.
In a virtual press conference today, and that was February 26th, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, announced that the government has been fully engaged with the students and their parents. In what are very difficult circumstances, the minister said that the government managed to make arrangements for all the students to get to Poland, where further arrangements will be made for their return. Senator Johnson-Smith explained that the government will underwrite all the costs for the students' transportation and accommodation until they arrive in Jamaica. There is no loan involved. She said, while adding that Jamaica was working with our contacts in Ukraine and Poland to ensure that all arrangements appropriate to the circumstances are made, given that the movement of cash is difficult at this time. So she was always engaged, and the government from underwrite the whole cost of them returning to Jamaica.
All right. So you heard it for yourself, Sean. And Kimmy.
Yeah, man. And I think
cool. What understand? Cool.
Kimmy, I open up the attention to the distractors, you know.
No man, cool. In the box. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, guys, I'm not paying distraction to anybody really. I'm just, say me alone, I will read and I have knowledge and I read with understanding. But when you guys come over here, I can show these questions that is out there at you, so other persons can get a different perspective. Because today, somebody said at least the students were safe. Someone said safe and take out the money at the same time. That just don't make no sense. Someone said I'm lying. Another person said that the government should have paid back too.
The article was just read, so all if lie when the article just
exactly.
Yeah, the government reimburse all that money to them.
All that money. They should. Why they don't emphasize the point? Since they want to talk, they should say the Prime Minister gave more. And I guess their argument was it's gonna be that he was supposed to, but he did.
No.
From his own charity.
No, but
from his own charity.
No, hear the argument that the PNP is pushing out there. That the Prime Minister get charity money and thief it.
Come on now, man. This thing has gotten too far.
No, I really have to stop it right there. So, first thing they're saying is that the PNP is pushing a narrative that Andrew Owners uses charity money And I am like, bro, there is a whole integrity commission report. What are you talking about? Yo, if you guys see some of the comments in, I caught that live. Oh, this breeze is too much. Wait a minute. Hey. Yeah, bro, you gotta chill. Anyway, um, I caught that live, ladies and gentlemen, on TikTok, right? And I'm saying the Integrity Commission reported, right, that the so-called charity was used to invest. This is not a lie. It was reported. The PMP has nothing to do with that. But you know what they're saying? The Labourites them is saying that it's peer PMP in the Integrity Commission. Right? Wagwan Josiah, bless up yourself. I was Stephanie. Stephanie tell me say she'll join. Hold on, let me message her. No sir. Steffi tell me say she'll join. I know me not see Steffi. Steffi look like she let me see. Let me see Steffi. What's she there? No. Call her. See if she answer. Thanks for hitting the like button, guys. Big up on yourself. Look like you fall asleep. Watch her. Steffi when I go like say she up and right now Steffi lock off. I cheat themselves go live, Anyway, I'm turning up my camera. Alright guys, so that's one of the first mistakes they made in their utterances about the Integrity Commission report. They're trying to assert that, the Integrity Commission situation is somewhat faulty. But I don't understand the logic because many persons from the People's National Party was charged. When you really read the Integrity Commission, even the affidavit, you have to ask yourself, why did they give Ajola so much chance? Why wasn't he charged? Like literally, why wasn't he charged before? You know what I mean? So it's amazing to me how they have it to say that, is PMP in the IC, right? It's amazing to me. What I'm looking for, I had started the article, So what I'm looking for is the article where the that I found with the students that actually spoke for themselves in regards to the situation in Ukraine, because I never had any documentation until the other day. I went live and it was pretty spontaneous, I have to say. It was very spontaneous indeed. But let me continue to play this.
This has gotten too far, Jamaicans, and we need to stop ignoring facts and relying on narratives that fit our own.
It's not the regular Jamaicans, my friend. It's a PNP with them lies. The regular Jamaicans most of the time don't know what is happening.
Facts.
And the regular Jamaicans.
The PNP with them lies. Because they cannot win an election on issues. So that's the only thing what them know for 4.5 years. I walk around and tell lie.
Exactly.
Wow. Yo, that is insane. Did this man just say that the PNP cannot win an election on issues? For 4.5 years they've been telling lies. So the Labourites them really believe, these particular Labourites really believe that The PMP has been lying. The Integrity Commission has been lying on Andrew Honest for 4 years. You gotta be kidding me, bro. What is going on right now, man? Yo, this is worse than I thought, you know. Yo, this is worse than I was listening, but I wasn't really listening because I was taking a shower. But there were some things in there I was just laughing like, huh? Yo, Josiah, are you hearing this? Yo, listen to this, man.
Come on, people. It costs $3,200 per student. Since Mark Golding, because I heard their argument is that Mark Golding is rich and he doesn't this and he doesn't need that, and he's a top honoris. Since he's such a top honoris,
when did Mark Golding say he's a top honoris? At what point did you hear Mark Golding say out of his mouth, "I am a top honoris"? What has been Mark Golding's mantra? Me no better than nobody. The security them is a first class citizen just like me. Mark Golding is about equality. What is this dude talking about, bro? I want you guys to count how many lies has been spewed already. How many narratives has been spewed already. Just as you watch this, just count. Write down one pencil and one pen for me, please. With pencil and piece of paper, or you know what I mean.
why didn't he just put up the 70,000 US and rescue all?
No, look at the audacity of this fool. Look at the audacity of this fool, right? That Mark Golding was supposed to put up all of the money, the 70,000 US, when you have a government that is running the country and is responsible for the well-being of the citizens of Jamaica. Bro, you cannot make this up. You cannot make this up, bro. So Mark Golding, you see, this is the problem, you know. This is the problem with that's why we'll forever be poor. This is the problem with us. The government of Jamaica has all the resources in the world, and you want one person to foot the entire bill. Why didn't you say, and hear me out, why didn't this brother say, I'm trying to be respectful, but it's hard. Why didn't he say why all of the why all of the parliament, why didn't Andrew say, listen, we have a 200 to 300% increase for our money. I don't know if they had it at the time, but say for instance they had it or they didn't have it, right? Why Andrew never say, yo, you know, so there's 63 of us in the parliament, and all of us are to some capacity our ministers, so make all of us put up 500 US now. Let all of us put up 500 US out of our money. Why them never say that? Why should Mark Golding go into his pocket to foot the entire bill? Right? Tell me. Give me a good reason. What logic is that? Because him have a lot of money? I say to you, Oprah Winfrey and The Rock was doing a fundraiser. A fundraiser. I don't think y'all heard me though. Oprah Winfrey and The Rock did a fundraiser for a cause. And they had the money in their bank book to do it. But that's not what wise people do. They use their influence to advocate, so people give little of the whatever they have and put it together as one. So why couldn't all the parliamentarians put the little that they have together? Since as they never wanted to take it out of the taxes that we, the taxpayers, pay. Since as they never wanted to do that, why didn't they take it from that, ladies and gentlemen? That sounds like a one more logical and sound move, not true? Will you hear how the Labourite them think? Give me a second, I'm gonna plug in this camera. That's something to start overeating. I have to make sure it's fun. And the computer is a fast computer. You know. Let's continue.
Of the students, since he wants to be patriotic and be a man of stature and do something.
Mark Golding is not trying to be patriotic, sir. The man is patriotic. The man come from a patriotic lineage. The man father did a lot for this country. He did. You know? And these guys are gonna bring up some things in his past that I can't verify. I guess they got it from Warmington when Warmington went to look up Mark Golding's antecedents. So now if what they're saying is true about Mark Golding's great grandfather owning slaves, right? If that is true, we should judge Mark Golding for that. Did Mark Golding have any slaves? Did he? What is he doing currently now in his life since he was a child? Who are the most vulnerable group in Jamaica is who he advocates for and he continues to take care of through his father's legacy. He continues his father's legacy to take care of the less not the Lord have mercy, the special community, right? I need to find that specific article. That's what I'm looking for because it says it all.
For his country. Why didn't he just put up the 70,000 and not ask for a return? This man put up a measly 10,000.
So I want to know: did Mark Golding ask for a return, or did he receive a return from the government? Is it that the government wanted to save face why they gave back Mark Golding the money? And I don't even know if he gave them back the money. I'm just asking the question: is it possible that all of the media that went around this situation that made the JLP look bad, is it possible that the JLP decided, you know what, we're gonna give them back their money? Is it possible? Is it possible? Just asking.
$1,000 and then ask for a return of his money.
Well, in fairness to him, I don't know if he had asked for the return, but the fact is he got it back and he took it.
At least that brother there have some self-respect to say he doesn't know if he asked for a return. Kudos to him. Kudos to him. And you know, I want all of the vlog of them to react to this. Me tag them, you know. Me tag them in the actual video. And Isabella Rose, I want to this video that I'm listening to right now that I just dropped. See the thumbnail there, people. Zane? Yeah, that thumbnail there? Yes. I want you guys to share it to all the vloggers them. I want to hear their perspective. Aromatic, all of them. Because they were in tune with this situation at the time, you know. I was not following up these stories and the politics or whatever. You know what I mean? To be fair. Let's continue.
Yeah, I'm not sure he asked for it, but the government wanted to make sure they cover the cost.
No, but
So-
if you're being noble, my thing is this, you know, if you're being noble, why would you accept the refund?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's where I have an issue.
Exactly.
You say you're a millionaire. You say you're a millionaire and you love people. I would say no, man, that's alright. At any rate, you know, one of the things you guys don't know is that he would have gotten a tax write-off for it, you know.
Exactly.
And that's not put no dent in him pocket.
Exactly.
Churchill now counts it up.
Yeah, but
This is what you call bad mind. This right here, sir, is what you call bad mind. Mark Golding is not the prime minister of the country, but these people want him to foot a bill that he actually has no responsibility for. Anything that Mark Golding gave, all you have to do is to be thankful for it. Who else gave? Who else gave willingly? Who else gave willingly? Who else went in their pocket and gave willingly? I'm really trying to find the article where there was a negotiation with the students and Jamaican students trapped in Ukraine. All right, I believe there was a video. This is the video. Yes, listen to this video. Listen to this.
And the Jamaican students studying in Ukraine are describing the horror of trying to escape a country under siege in the midst of war. In a recorded interview with our news center a short while ago, the students also explained why they were initially hesitant to leave and also cleared up what they described as misunderstandings. Giovanni Dennis has our report.
3 of the 24 Jamaican students now in Poland after fleeing the besieged Ukraine. Joel Tolo, Joel Thomas.
All right, so the students had to clear up the misunderstanding because the Labourites were blaming the students for staying in Ukraine. And they did not understand the details surrounding their situation with their schooling and their monies and everything. They don't get it, but they immediately blame the students because they're so tribalistic. Listen.
And Sabrina Lewis finally agreed to speak with us after our repeated requests. They described the chaos, mayhem, and madness trying to escape the Russian onslaught that began before dawn last week.
4 a.m., I woke up to hearing just this noise sounding like a symphony. That's how the bombs just drop it, like a musical. So it was just boom, boom, boom. So at first, I got up and I was so scared. I started shaking. And then a few seconds after that, an airplane flew low over my roof. So the entire building started shaking. And in my mind, all I could say was that this is it. This is the end.
In Ukraine, where we were in Kharkiv, everything happened out of nowhere. I was asleep around 2, about to go to sleep around 2, 3 a.m. and I heard noises such as shaking. The room was shaking that I was in, and the school dorm, everyone was literally running out. People were scared, some ladies were crying. And just from that thought alone, I knew that in that moment, I couldn't really do anything because just the sound of bombs dropping literally around you in that moment, you can't even run because it's happening out of nowhere.
It was very risky because at one point we were wondering, why, if we go on that train, suppose something really happens, suppose something lit the train, because we're not going to have nowhere to run to. We're going to be in the middle of nowhere. How are we going to find our way? How are we going to communicate with our parents, you know? So eventually we decided it's either. We don't know if we stay in Ukraine, if we stay in the bunker, if it will get worse. How will we survive if we don't even have food? Like, how long will it take for us? It could happen for weeks and we wouldn't even have enough food to last. So we decided to go above ground, get the train, and then we finally got to moving.
While traveling, they were stopped by armed forces and had to walk the rest of the journey to the border.
We walked, let's say, let me put it in kilometers for you, around up to 44 kilometers, you know? And to be honest with you, it was more than 9, 10 hours of walking. And God was so good that along the way, there were Ukrainian citizens that gave us a ride, you know, to make the distance shorter.
I didn't think I would make it. I called my dad. I was just like, Daddy, I'm telling you from now, I cannot make it that far because my legs, I couldn't feel them. I was so cold and Victoria was on my back. I'm dragging a suitcase, dragging my handbag. It was so heavy. I was exhausted. I didn't eat. I honestly thought that I wouldn't make it.
They also spoke about racism they've observed.
A close friend of mine, he experienced it. While getting on the train, a Ukrainian actually put a gun to his head and told him that he needs to get off the train.
Wow.
So he couldn't get to the particular to Lviv. So because of that, his journey got delayed and he had to come back to the train station another day in order to get on a train to Lviv.
In the end, the group of 24 made it to Poland, including Sabrina's cat, Victoria.
This cat has been my cat for nearly 5 years. I look at her as my baby. right? She's my child, and me, not gonna leave my pitney.
Okay, Victoria,
Sleeping.
Victoria getting her moment in prime time.
The full interview will be aired on all angles on Wednesday. Giovanni Dennis, TVJ News.
Man, I need to find that specific article. It was so detailed, bro. It was so detailed. There was a Twitter post and everything, right? Hold on. Let me just see if I can get this. Is there like a play button? Alright, never mind. Not seeing that. Read aloud.
Global activists and politicians have expressed concern over a Jamaican student who was held at gunpoint while fleeing conflict in Ukraine as communities continue to condemn racial treatment of Black refugees at the borders. This comes as the country's government launched a hotline to assist ethnic minority people trying to flee Russian attacks amid widespread backlash over discrimination. Among the Black groups seeking sanctuary in neighboring countries were some 24 Jamaican students who have since been evacuated by its government after being forced to walk 20 kilometers to safety in freezing conditions. The students' bus from Lviv to the Polish border was attacked by an angry mob on Sunday, according to Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, and they opted to walk instead of turning back. During the trek, 2 of the group fell and 1 received medical care in an ambulance. Prior to their voyage, one of the group members was reportedly threatened with a gun by a white Ukrainian in an incident described as racist and ordered to disembark a train to Lviv, temporarily splitting him up from his peers. Recommended. Experienced skydiver fell to her death after relationship ended, coroner finds. Dramatic footage shows armed police bursting in classroom to arrest student. Play War Thunder now for free War Thunder. Sponsored. Crossout 2.0. Supercharged Crossout. Sponsored. An interview with local Jamaican cable network TVJ Monday, his pal told anchor Giovanni Dennis, a close friend of mine, he experienced it, racism, while trying to escape Russian attacks in Ukraine. While getting on the train, a Ukrainian actually put a gun to his head and told him that he needs to get off the train so he couldn't get to Lviv. He continued. So because of that, his journey got delayed, and he had to come back to the train station another day in order to get on a train to Lviv. Open image in gallery. Jamaican student speaking on TVJ. Speaking to The Independent, Dr. Angela Brown Burke, chairperson of Jamaica's opposition party, PNP, expressed concern about the young person's gunpoint ordeal and overall plight of the students. Imagine you leave Jamaica for a better life and to study. Then you are confronted with something like that, she said. We know that the basis of that would have been a racist attitude, and it must be so devastating. Moreover, listening to the account of our students in Ukraine and all that they went through, the terror and trauma, also the long journey in that kind of weather, I think one can only imagine how harrowing that must be, she said. Adding that supporting the students in continuing their vocational development and accessing psychological support must be a priority. On Wednesday, the renowned human rights lawyers Ben Crumb and Jasmine Rand, who represented the family of George Floyd, launched a coalition which filed an urgent appeal to the United Nations on behalf of Black people facing discrimination in Ukraine while trying to flee Russian attacks. Open image in gallery. Dr. Angela Brown Burke supplied. The People's National Party echoes the calls for an end to all racist treatment at the Ukraine borders and endorses the coalition launched on Wednesday by George Floyd's family lawyers, the chairperson added. We are particularly pleased to see MP Anthony Hilton and Ms. Rosaline Hamilton from Jamaica have joined the coalition. It's also extremely important that the world strongly condemns these racist actions. Our sympathy for the Ukrainian people in this conflict remains unstinting. At the same time, we cannot allow that to dilute our vigilance in resisting racism against Black students who have been trying to leave Ukraine under these circumstances. During a press conference about the coalition on Wednesday, Ben Crump said this is an urgent
I think
matter
this is
and
it.
the UN has the power
Please let
to
it
ring
be
the
it.
alarm. For whatever reasons, we don't think that alarm has been rang.
Shut up.
How many more
Shut up.
guns have to be put to the
Shut
heads of
up. Shut
descendants
up.
of
Shut up. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the article. And I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it right now. Let me save this. Very important. Ukraine students. Jamaican students trapped in Ukraine. Jamaican students trapped in Ukraine. All right. I want you guys to remember what these people said. You know, these people right here.
But Joshua,
Remember what they said.
let me read this news item from March 3, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
In a virtual press conference today, and that was February 26th, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, announced that the government has been fully engaged with the students and their parents. In what are very difficult circumstances, the minister said that the government managed to make arrangements for all the students to get to Poland, where further arrangements will be made for their return. Senator Johnson-Smith explained that the government will underwrite all the costs for the students' transportation and accommodation until they arrive in Jamaica. There is no loan involved. She said, while adding that Jamaica was working with our contacts in Ukraine and Poland to ensure that all arrangements appropriate to the circumstances are made, given that the movement of cash is difficult at this time. So she was always engaged, and the government underwrite the whole cost of them returning to Jamaica.
All right. On the ear with them, sir, right? Look at this. Government accused of not telling the whole truth on loan offer to Jamaican students in Ukraine. All right. Let's read aloud. Let's read.
At least one of the 42 Jamaican students studying medicine in Ukraine is hitting back against suggestions that they didn't want to take up the government's loan offer to get out of the conflict-torn country ahead of a full-scale invasion launched by Russia. Early this morning, February 24th, the student, who goes by the username at @do_Sololex, took to Twitter to criticize the government's treatment of her peers. She has also declared she would not be speaking to reporters, expressing disgust with sensationalist media when people's lives are at stake. Twitter.
Pause.
@you_Sololex. In a
Pause.
Twitter thread,
Pause. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the young lady, and I want to shout out to her. Yes, she also declared she would not be speaking to reporters, expressing disgust with sensationalism media when people's lives are at risk. Mark my words. Anybody want this article? Please link me on WhatsApp. I will send you the link. All right. If you want it now, the number is 451-6535. That's 451-6535. Anytime the Labourite them come a chat about Ukraine, dash this in them face. Listen what the picnic say. The one brave one will come talk. She said, mark my words, that if any Jamaican students gets physically hurt in Ukraine, God forbid, I will be releasing screenshots of how we were handled. Hello? Anybody know this picnic? If she still have this, if she's alive, Father God, please let she be alive. If she's alive and she's still holding this same Twitter handle, tell us a Bolo and I want an interview. I want to see screenshot them. Yeah, man, full time now the truth come out if it not come out yet. I want to see the screenshots of how they were handled. You hear what she said? She said, if, God forbid, any pitney physically hurt in Ukraine, she's going to release the screenshots. No, you have to ask yourself the question, ladies and gentlemen. Why? What kind of screenshot you have for release? What kind of screenshot you have for release? Let's read.
Do_Solex argued that, when contacted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, the students told officials that some of the Ukrainian universities had not yet taken the danger of war seriously and threatened them with expulsion if they left to return to Jamaica.
Pause. That is very significant, ladies and gentlemen. You hear what you said? The Ukraine government, or the universities, I should say, did not take the threat of a war seriously. And they threatened those students that if they leave to return to Jamaica, they would be what? Expelled. Let's read.
We told the VAFT, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, that some schools were not observing the threats and that some J students were told they would be expelled if they left the country. We asked the VAFT to personally write to these schools to have us withdrawn, as with more authority they could better assist. User at do_Solex wrote. According to her, the ministry, while still urging the students to take up the loan offer to leave Ukraine, expressed a reluctance to officially write to the universities in question.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen.
According to her, the ministry, while still urging the students to take up the loan offer to leave Ukraine, expressed a reluctance to officially write to the universities in question.
No. Why was the students asking Kamina Johnson Smith to write to the university? Because they didn't want to get expelled. They wanted to continue their studies. Oh, and it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. Share this live stream. Share this live stream. You understand? I'm here for it today. We're going to debunk the lies. I'm here for it today. All right? So this is probably one of the screenshots she was talking about how they were handled. Yes. Kamina Johnson Smith allegedly was reluctant to write a letter to Ukraine University on behalf of the children that did not want to be expelled. Allegedly.
Understanding this, she said the students brainstormed again, this time asking whether they could get transfer assurances to continue their studies at an institution in Jamaica where applicable. They reportedly got no response to this from the Jamaican government.
So,
they told us they wouldn't want to do that, and then we end up...
Yeah, man. And I think...
Sorry about that, guys. Let me just... So, not only did Kamina Johnson Smith allegedly not write the letter to the university on behalf of the children, it gets worse. They brainstormed. They said, listen, can you assure us that we can continue our studies in Jamaica? Allegedly, the government did not respond at all, ladies and gentlemen. Well, talk up to me. Talk up to me. Where liberate them there? Talk up to me now. I lie shit tell down. Or that not run come say. I lie the picnic tell down. Listen to the tweet. We told MFA, that is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that some schools were not observing the threat and that some students were told they would be expelled if they left the country. We asked Ministry of Foreign Affairs to personally write to these schools to have us withdrawn, as with more authority they would better assist. Hello, this is a tweet, you know. So the article makes sure say them have this. She was replying to this. We don't know the contract that accompanied the loan. We don't know how the students were treated when offered said loan. We don't know if they've have to forfeit their passport and wouldn't be able to return back to school. Listen to me now. Wanna not piss me off. Big up that person, yeah. Yes. This person right here on Twitter, big up that person there. This spells sense, though. All of these questions of not knowing spell sense, though. Okay. I thought so. But the labor at them there. Where the labor at them there. Let's continue.
End up being expelled with nowhere to go academically. They told us they wouldn't want to do that, and then we end up being expelled with nowhere to go academically. We then suggested them doing liaison W/medical schools in J to take us in the event that we are expelled, she said. User at do_Solalex said she made it out of Ukraine safely, but not without many challenges. She noted, however, her disappointment in the government and media for not properly reflecting the decisions faced by the students who remain stuck in Ukraine. They didn't add these things in their news articles to make it look like students were just sitting down. So coupled with a travel loan, students were also fearful of losing thousands of dollars with no concrete evidence the government would help us if we got expelled, the Jamaican continued. Still, we valued our lives more and as much as we could, bearing in mind that due to the pandemic some students couldn't return home to renew documents, as many of us that could leave, left, she added.
Now, just listen to all of the variables that these students had to contend with, ladies and gentlemen. And they sought assistance from Kamina Johnson-Smith and the ministry, the Jamaica Labour Party. And you're telling me that you believe that they did all they could? They didn't write a letter, allegedly, to the schools that were threatening to expel if they leave. Documents not being renewed due to the pandemic. You hear these arguments, context matters, you know. And she said that she's upset with the media because they did not reflect the actual hard decisions that these students had to face and what they had to actually contemplate. The media made it seem like these students were sitting on their asses and not wanting to take a loan to come out, and the government was just doing everything that they could. We already know that the media is sold out in Jamaica, so are we surprised? I know I am not. Listen to this.
Kamina Johnson-Smith-led ministry, in a statement yesterday, indicated that only 7 Jamaican students took up the government's travel loan offer. Minister of Foreign Affairs Kamina Johnson-Smith speaking with...
So what on? So what on? I'm sure me hear the labor right there say, hold on, the pigs. Let me go back to the labor right there and say another video that will trigger me to do this live at this time in the morning. Hold on there.
What on the Sean?
Joshua, let me read this news item. Let me read this news item from March 3, 2022.
Go ahead.
In a virtual press conference today, and that was February 26th, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, announced that the government has been fully engaged with the students and their parents. In what are very difficult circumstances, the minister said that the government managed to make arrangements for all the students to get to Poland, where further arrangements will be made for their return. Senator Johnson-Smith explained that the government will underwrite all the costs for the students' transportation and accommodation until they arrive in Jamaica. There is no loan involved. She said, while adding that...
We know somebody hear that. There is no loan involved. What is this? What is this, ladies and gentlemen? What is this? There is no loan involved.
With international press as one of Jamaica's senior officials leading the country's delegation at Expo 2020 in Dubai. The Kamina Johnson-Smith-led Minister of Foreign Affairs Kamina Johnson-Smith speaking with The Kamina Johnson-Smith-led ministry, in a statement yesterday, indicated that only 7 Jamaican students took up the government's travel loan offer.
So, was there a loan or wasn't there a loan? One end, the Labour them TikTok said no loan never involved. And here so only 7 students take the loan that was offered. Who should we believe, ladies and gentlemen? The article or the Labour them? Who should we believe?
Offer. Minister of Foreign Affairs Kamina Johnson-Smith speaking with International Press. Smith noted further that some students have decided to stay, others have made private arrangements to head elsewhere in the region, while the rest have either left or are in the process of leaving. User at @do_Sololex, who safely left Ukraine but had not indicated where she was currently, took great issue with Minister Smith's comparative actions to that of officials from the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada. When all Jamaican students were asking for was an official communication to the schools they were enrolled. Responding directly to Smith, the user wrote, "We simply asked your governing body to write to our schools. That's all we asked. You spoke to news outlets instead." As you can see, verbal recommendations and encouragement alone cannot properly get us out of an Eastern European country. We needed action, at @do_Sololex added.
Damn. People, when you talk to me now, man. Oh man, you see, we have such a busy day today. I had to do this live right now. I hope you guys share this. Look at what she said. Look at Kamina Johnson-Smith. 2 out of 5, we remind that even far better resource the USA, UK, Canada, and other countries recommended their nationals make arrangements to leave, as did we. Some countries, like US, offered loans for students who needed, as did we just offer 1 week ago, but no students took up the offer. So hold on there. Again, the Labour them on the TikTok. Only said a loan wasn't offered. Only said there was no loan. You see, what happened wasn't, ladies and gentlemen. Kamina Johnson-Smith and the government was embarrassed. That is my deductive reasoning. They were embarrassed. So when the kids came down now, they decided to say, oh, you know what? We're going to cover and give back people their money. But look what the students say. With all due respect, Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, I watched the representatives from said countries personally come to our school to have a meeting with the dean and made arrangements for them to leave. Also provided them alternative places of study if the school didn't follow through. Bingo. So it's not just about the money alone, ladies and gentlemen. The students were worried about all of the work they put in their studies. That was one of their main issues. All right, we're going to take the loan. Right? I don't want to understand how the loan thing is going to go. It's an emergency, we're going to take the loan. But you, Kamina Johnson-Smith, we want you to write to the dean. We want you to write to these institutions. Kamina Johnson-Smith couldn't take up somebody out of her office to write to university them in Ukraine. Kamina Johnson-Smith, you couldn't the girl not tell a lie on social media. She said this, you couldn't write. You couldn't write to the student, them school. Right? You hear what she say? These countries where she had talked about down here, so they personally came to the Ukraine and spoke to the dean. And if they wasn't gonna honor the children's school term and they still were gonna get expelled, they made alternative places of study for them. They made those arrangements. That is a government, not this poopy in a government, JLP, this loose government. We just make excuses, right? And don't do and follow through what them supposed to do, right? Me say me glad, me say me fine, but me now lose the article again, you know. You could have deal, Father God. Me I tell you, hold on, the whoa, copy. Me not lose this article again. Well, let me save you over here, sir. You must be mad. This article is a forever reference. A forever what do you call it? Reference. It's already there, Jamaica student. It's already there. I already saved it. It's a forever reference, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't no way I am losing this article. Anytime the Labourites them come run off their mouth about Ukraine, just box them with the article here. Our today. August 23rd, 2025. No, well, this is today. That is today. That is not when the article is out. That is not when the article was out. This is February 24, 2022. Sorry. See? Right here, sir. Right here, sir. I'm going to zoom it up for you. You see? See there? February 24, 2022. Right? This Pupina government. Mighty God of Daniel. No. Well, I'm going to go say on my phone there. Let me go up on TikTok and go up on Jamaica Carlos page. Because first me frightened, so. Me say Jamaica Carlos, big up yourself, my general. Yo, me go up on the man TikTok and I tell her say, yo, me see the me catch a video over there where I have to share with them right now. Andrew Holness is not a normal person. I feel like say him a go senile, brother. I not tell no lie. You hear me say? I feel like the man is going senile. Real talk. Yeah. Yeah, I genuinely feel like I'm going to see now. Carlos, Jamaica Carlos. Jamaica Carlos. It's not Jamaican Carlos, it's Jamaica Carlos, right? Isn't that it? But me follow him, so why I can't find him? Give me 1 second. Don't go nowhere, people. Don't go nowhere. I go on TikTok and come back here. I have to find this. If I can also have it. I do have it. I think this is it. I think I sent it to myself. Oh, that's a pastor. Alright, big up pastor. Let me see. I think I got this. Because certain things. No, this one on it. That's a TJ. Hold on. Hopefully I sent it to myself. Father God, please.
There's an article.
No.
Jamaica.
Another one, yeah. But we need that too. Evidence. Evidence. You understand?
Of everything else.
Okay. Alright. I guess I didn't send it to myself. Alright, I have to go up on TikTok and come back, people. Give me a second, yeah? Please. Alright, I'm back. Are you guys hearing me? Why everybody drop off my live after me tell them the full yet? Are you using it? Alright, let me
your water and your road.
Listen to
we have
this.
also invested heavily in securing your water and your roads. We have done our surveys and we have done our research, and you and your government understands this. And your government has been doing that. But it's important that you understand that not having water for the last
Listen to this.
in securing your water and your roads. We have done our surveys and we have done our research, and you have told me directly that you don't really want much from the government. What you want is for your road to be fixed and water in your shower. And your government understands this. And your government has been doing that. But it's important that you understand that not having water for the last 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, one community I went to just today, the lady whispered and told me that she's 57 years old, she lived in the community all her life and she never had water there. But she wants her water. No! So I said to her, you do understand that I am not to be blamed for you not having water, but I am responsible. I am the government. No.
Let me play that back. I want to slow that down. I'm going to talk too fast.
How do we get to accountability? And how do we get to the point where your vote means something? Be blamed for you not. Said to her, you do understand that I am not to be blamed for you not having water, but I am responsible. I am the government. No.
Let us go to Google. The man says he's not to be blamed, but he's responsible because he's the government. Now, what does responsible mean? These are the things that the Labourites them allow Andrew Jones to get away with. Having an obligation to do something. What? Hold on. So Andrew Jones said he was responsible for the lady to get water. And this clip was recent, I believe. You know? This clip was recent. Because you can see the gray and everything. Yes. He said, having an obligation to do something. So Andrew Jones, you have an obligation to get water in a lady pipe. You've been here for 10 years. So you have a deeper obligation. It's not like you're fresh at the first year or the first 2 year or 3 year. Right? It also says, or having control over or care for someone. So you have control over our resources or tax dollars. So you should use those tax dollars wisely to get water to the people that don't have water. So this is just look at the bottom part here. Being the primary cause of something and so able to be blamed or credited for it. Let's play the clip again from Andrew. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot make this up. You cannot
Community
make
all her
this
life
up.
and she never had water there. But she want her water. No. So I said to her, you do understand that I am not to be blamed for you not having water, but I am responsible. I am the...
Yo, this brother make me want to pull out me hair, my nana hair in my head. The man said he's not to be blamed.
To get you the water.
But he's
How
responsible.
do we get to accountability and how...
What is accountability? What is accountability?
How do we get to the point where your vote means something? It is to say to the politician, tell me what the plans are. Let me see if these plans are reasonable. And I will therefore on that cast my vote in the best possible way, making the best choice as to who has the better plan and the better track record of delivering the things that I want.
Now, when it comes to water, him really shoot himself in his foot, this, you know, right? Because if the people have never have water for 20 years before you come in a power, and in 10 years them still not have water, what you have shown them is that you have you lack the capacity, right, to bring them water. As a matter of fact, we have had several communities that used to have water that don't have water now. All over Jamaica, the people are crying out about water access. So your argument that you made there, you're actually shooting yourself in the foot. But back to what responsible means, because the man says he's not to be blamed, ladies and gentlemen. See that? He's not to be blamed. He is not to be blamed. But the basis of being responsible is to either take blame or credit. Because you are obligated to do something. You have control over, you have care for someone. Someone would be the people of Jamaica. As a part of one's job or role. People, you know, say, you never want to believe say Andrew Duns, you know. You never want to believe say Andrew Duns, but what is happening here? You feel say I have dementia? Because this don't make no sense. You know, as we get older, these things can happen. Somebody need to check up on him. You know? Being the primary cause of something and so able to be blamed. But the man says not to be blamed for the woman not having water in her pipe for over how much years. But he is responsible because he's the government. No. Maybe he wanted to frame that another way. Maybe he wanted to say you can't lay total blame on me, you know, which would be fine. But he never said that. He said he's not to be blamed. But you are, though. Yes, you are. You are the government. You promise people prosperity. Who can have prosperity without running water flowing in their pipes? Talk to me now, people. How can you have prosperity without running water flowing in your pipes? But I am happy that I got a chance to debunk the lies from the Labourites. There are some more things that they said, you know, but I don't know if I should leave it to the discussion. They were speaking a lot of rhetoric about his Mark Golding's background and one bag of something.
That is not within his own game, right? No, people are saying Andrew buyout style, but
Golding not care about nobody. Hey, you never listen to Natalie yet when Natalie tell you how Mark say. And at first, me used to think so it's like she not like him, you know, until we realize say what she's saying is true.
What you're about to hear is the hungry belly Labourite mentality, where they want to be given something instead of being taught how to fish. You understand? We have this culture in Jamaica where we respect the man that come, we just come give away money to it. You man, I'm a boss that man, I'm a general that man. All of a sudden when you're general, they don't know him, they don't know his character, but him just a give you money. You can be bought. Hungry belly Labourite. Listen to them.
I have, like the other day I asked him, I said, I never yet see my calling by nobody, not even one water up on the roadside.
You hear that? She never yet see Mark Golding buy nobody, not even a water up on the roadside. How about you take your money and buy something for yourself? You know how much people are Mark Golding actually a helper need help? But genuinely need help? Like the disabled community? And they have such a they have more respect for themselves. The disabled community people, they actually try to work harder than the ones that have limbs, where is 100% healthy. Them take more pride in being independent because they want to prove something. Meanwhile, you want Mark Golding to come buy out your stall. And you don't know say a cloud chase to make himself look good. Him never buy, Andrew never buy out the stall, you know. Right? When Andrew buy out the stall on camera they on him, you know. You remember that? And the video post, you know. If he wanna do it for the love and not do it for the likes. Right? No camera. No camera. Ratings him a look. Cloud chaser. Mark Golding on depend that. Mark Golding respect people. So him now go try to buy you. Andrew Honest don't respect you. That's why them try to buy you. But you know so lost and have this real hungry belly mentality with you. Now always hear Pastor Peter Chambers I say it, you know. I mean just a laugh like he just a jeer them, you know. But really and truly, look on the fake the alleged JLP media release about the vlogger them. According to them, PMP are pay we. I never receive $1 from no PMP councillor, no PMP MP, no PMP part of the PMP body. Never, and I don't want nothing from them personally. What I do on my platform is what I believe in and what I am advocating for a better Jamaica. Because what is happening presently is destroying this country under Andrew Holness led government, riddled with corruption, riddled with scandal. As I talk about scandal, box over, you don't know, say, me get one, no, me get a, yo, John, I wonder if I have somebody say, no, another one there. Make we listen to this.
Of everything else everybody has to talk about, what is the reason I think things need to change? Because the results are not coming. The results are not coming. We have reduced the mastery of literacy. This particular JP government, with their PR approach, jumps to say something when something is in the newspaper. When did we hear about reading becoming mandatory? When the thing about Pembroke came in the newspaper. The first thing that I think must be acknowledged by the society is that education is in crisis. And the evidence of that can be captured at every single level of education. More recently, what is equivalent to the GED in the United States, which is 5 subjects including math and English. So our test for GED satisfactory secondary school completion is 5 subjects including math and English. So that's equivalent to the GED in the United States. We're at 18%.
Mighty God.
So only 18% of our children in that age cohort each year is satisfying that expectation after having this period of education, which should have been from age 3 to age 19, approximately 16 years of education.
Labourites, uno okay with that? Uno alright with that? 18%?
When them a campaign. Labor Day come, I not see Mark Golden do nothing for Labor Day. I not see Mark Golden literally do anything that is not within his own gain, right? No.
So here the idiot, sorry, may I try to behave, you know. So when Andrew Holness video, him a buy out a bag stall or a corner shop, when him video I do that, him not do it for him gain. Your big chop.
People say Andrew a buyout stall, but if you go back and check, a long time I'm a buyout stall and I just...
So if a long time him when I cloud chase, that make it right? It becomes acceptable because a long time I do it. Bad behavior becomes acceptable because a long time somebody do it.
No. That a man style, that a theme style.
I don't just know a theme style that for buyout stall. I know just since elections he has been buying out stalls. And this is what I keep asking you, the comrades them. Can me go call them on a party leader call on a party leader call on comrades. The comrades them that is sitting and listening and hearing us, where I said to them, say, what is happening? That Mike Golden cannot even come to it and say something. And sometimes some of it forget that it was Mike Golden and his mother who protested against the poor people. When them did go move, go down in them land, in them community, Mike Golden said no to them. Because
Let me Google that. Let me Google that. Mark Golden and mother protested against poor people coming on their land. Let me see. Opposition Mora said he will seek dialogue. What is? Mona Common squatters. Mark Rowling did it. What? Peaceful demonstration against the proposed relocation of squatters from Mona Commons to a plot of land near their community. Land battle. Mark is enjoying his new portfolio after all. Blah, blah, blah. A former leader used to express her love for the poor because he keeps it, blah, blah, blah. Alright, let me see. Let me see if I eat this. Let me see if this is it. Because that I'm not going to do is speak on something that I don't know about. All right, here we go. Land battle. Golding willing to plead case for Pleasant Hill families facing eviction. This cannot be it. This cannot be it. So this are the article about the 65 family them. Ooh, thank you, Lord. I just spoke up in it. Whoa, let me save it. Thank you. Let me save that. Go back. Go back, Father God. Go back. Mona Common Squatters. Mark Golding did it. I don't want. Oh, yes, I see an article. This. All right, we can. All right, I see an article that. All right, cool. Opposition leader, mother. Okay. Mark Golding public sector over down payment. Mark Golding controversial protest against PMP. When was this? 3 months ago? No, sir. That's not it. That is not it. Yo, wanna see how tedious it is? Feel like the work we do behind the scenes. Yeah, reading on them something there. Mark Golding protest against people on his land or his property on his property Mark Golding's content, blah blah. This isn't just a protest, blah blah blah. PMP stage another protest. People's National Party, Mark Golding, blah blah blah. Opposition leader is questioning constitutional monetary, blah blah blah. PMP rescues Jamaicans, okay. I am not seeing this thing that she's talking about. Alright. We're gonna flip to dust them attack.
Because they don't want to depreciate the value of the house in the area should they move in with them board house and zinc fence. Mark Golding do that.
So, according to her, Mark Golding protest about some people coming in the area that they are in with board house and zinc fence because he don't want his property to be devalued. And I want to ask the question, what is wrong with that? I want to ask the question, what is wrong with that? If you know anything about real estate, ladies and gentlemen, right? The property beside you, in front of you, right? It can either depreciate your property or it enhances the value of it. So, if you have a garrison, obviously, zinc fence and them something there, it is not appealing. The aesthetics is not appealing to people that want to buy property. Nobody wants to buy the property value is going to go down, right? So if you can help those people to get a better situation with their property, it'd be good. But I mean, what is wrong with that? I don't know.
Mark Golding and his mother do that. Yet still not run a back master.
Yeah, but Joshua, think about it. Yeah, I want you all to think about this. Mark Golding got $8.7 million from the sale of BB&G. In Mark Golding latest US, yes. Joshua, in his latest statutory declaration,
listen to this.
When they checked up everything, it totaled $2.1 million US. No, what is Mark Golding saying? That he lost $6.7 million US? Or is it the same Mark Golding when them tell about credible as one lied to the IC? The IC.
So according to this labor right, Mark Golding has lied to the IC about his statutory declaration. You know, why you think a title count the amount of lies the Labourites them talking on TikTok. Mighty God, they hate Marky G. That's the title of the video. Y'all need to check it out, man. Oh my God. Wow. This man just you have to prove that, right? You have to prove that Mark Golding's assets is not what he says it is. You have to prove that. The Integrity Commission has certified Mark Golding's statutory declaration because the monies is where the monies are and the source, they understand the source. Like, I don't. Alright, so if him have 8 point something billion, do you know if he invested in anything? Do you know if he bought a company? Do you know if he bought properties and assets, brother? Do you know if he put the money in a trust for his children? Do you know? But you're gonna say that he lied. Mark Golding is not the one that is not being open with the Integrity Commission, You think the Integrity Commission is just questioning Andrew Honest because them like for the work and just like for just back at MPP wait for months for him answer this and a write letter and do all of this? You think them not have better things to do with them time? This idiot argument by the Labourites them that somebody is out to get Andrew Honest, like Andrew Honest is this innocent little guy. It is absurd. Only done someone wake up and smell the coffee. And you know what is bad? I feel sorry for these people because I think they are so far gone that they will never, no matter what happens in the future, no matter if Andrew Honest is investigated and get locked up, their forever narrative is that the boogeyman got him and he never did any of the things that the reports said he did, that the evidence clearly shows he did, if he was to get locked up. That's all that's going to happen, Me tell you, say, man, oh my God, oh my days, oh my days, oh my days, Father. Deliver them. Deliver them, Father, deliver them. Deliver them. Earlier today, yesterday, I was going to do a live and, yes, I was going to do a live and, but now I play no more of that, so I can't go watch that. And there was a speech from Mark Golding that I was like, yo, I really need to highlight that, and I totally forgot from my live earlier. Yes, I totally forgot. Totally.
Remember, get out and from entrepreneurs. PNP.
Right, that's so.
In the hands of the government because
Comrade, Member of Parliament in waiting, and your next Member of Parliament for Eastern Hanover, Comrade Andrea Perkis.
Yes.
All the comrades who have been on this tour with us this afternoon coming into the night, and everybody was here in Chester Castle Square. What a joy it is. It's been a long day. We started in Orange Bay at midday exactly. And here we are in Chester's Castle at 9:15 in the night. And I have to get back to King's.
Yeah, and Mark Golding not stay in this area or any area at 1 o'clock in the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I saw a live stream on TikTok. I think it's the brother where I go against this lady and Chester Castle. Yeah, man, at this same place, man, in Hanover. I may tell you, say, Virgin, Andrew surrounded by about 40 police and how much Labourite in a local community. And Andrew, after the whole meeting finished, the man still there, they talk to the people. Them. So you tell me, say, the speech where you never communicate enough. So you Labourite, they need more clarity about something. You need to reinforce something. This doesn't sound like one government today in a poor for 9 years, man. You Labourite, them know enough. But then so die hearted, they want to look for Andrew. It's like them away upon him hand and foot. For him just say something for them go for them cheer for. And they want to see them sit down. And me say look on the last sheet, man. Jesus. Poor thing.
I'm not going to talk for long.
Yes.
But I want to say a rate to you for your stamina and for coming out all this way with us and being here tonight. Comrades, the Prime Minister has been going around making some false comments about how the Jamaican Labour Party rescued the economy.
Listen
We have
this.
to mash down that lie.
Mash it down.
It was a People's National Party that came to government in 2012, inheriting a debt GDP ratio of 147%, where the country had gone off the rails. We were not in any program with the IMF because they had failed every test and hadn't even taken the test. And the international financial community had Jamaica as a basket case, a failed state financially. And it was under Portia Simpson Miller and Dr. Peter Phillips with Ayman Markey G in charge of the legislation at the time that turned that completely around and built the current fiscal rules into the fiscal responsibility framework of the country so that the debt of the country could be brought under control. And when we left office in 2016, from 147%, it had come down to 115%, including not just rigorous economic management and running high surpluses to pay that debt down, but also entering into a historic debt swap with the government of Venezuela, where they released $2+ billion of debt back to Jamaica at less than 50 cents in the dollar. And that was a masterpiece of a transaction that took the debt to GDP ratio in one move, a further 9% down to get it to 115%.
Well, on there, we have to play that back again, because that is significant. Wow.
Fiscal responsibility framework of the country so that the debt of the country could be brought under control. And when we left office in 2016, from 147%, it had come down to 115%, including not just rigorous economic management and running high surpluses to pay that debt down, but also entering into a historic debt swap with the government of Venezuela, where they released $2+ billion of debt back to Jamaica at less than 50 cents in the dollar. And that was a masterpiece of a transaction that took the debt to GDP ratio in one move, a further 9% down.
You guys understand that? Basically, the two countries swapped debt. And the rate at which they got the debt to be bought by Venezuela, the countries, he said, it benefited Jamaica significantly. So the debt to GDP went down a further 9%. It was a strategic move. Good governance, good financial, architecture by the People's National Party. Portia Simpson Miller and the team at the time. Mark Golding was there as well. I'm just saying, let's continue.
To get it to 115%. So when the JLP came into government, the fiscal rules were already in law, anchoring what the Ministry of Finance could do in each budget. And it is that has taken us down to where we are now, which is 60-odd%, with the target ultimately of getting to 60% by March 2028. That there is a long piece of what they call an algorithm, a long equation in the 5th schedule to the Financial Administration and Audit Act. I was the one who put it in there with the technocrats from the Ministry of Finance when I was Minister of Justice. And that has anchored the whole system to make sure that we don't come off the rails fiscally moving forward. So Andrew Holness, stop talking rubbish. You had nothing to do with it. It was already set in place by the time we demitted office in March 2016. And Audley Shaw and then Nigel Clark just had to continue to abide by the rules that were set to them for them by the People's National Party government.
Come on, man. Yeah, man, Dr. Peter Phillips, Freedom Project. You know, sometimes I forget their names, to be honest with you. But yeah, man, Dr. Peter Phillips. I'm just saying, these things are documented. Labourites, stop telling lie. Andrew Owen, stop telling lie. Stop misguiding, stop misleading the people, your people. Right? It is not cool, sir. Stop lying about fiscal discipline as if you had anything to do with it when you are just following legislation. You hear the man say a certain algorithm was set, a structure was set that needed to be followed. Very methodological. Right? A methodology was put in place to make sure that the debt to GDP ratio goes down gradually every year at a certain percent. Right? So that is not an achievement by Andrew Holness. It's laws and legislation put in place that they have to follow. So when you hear him talk about fiscal discipline and fiscal prudence and how they have the record of being no. It is a lie from the pits of hell. Yes. All right? Good.
There's another point I want to make, because I hear some foolishness being said publicly, which, you know, there's so much misinformation going around the place nowadays in social media and elsewhere. What I want to assure Jamaica of is this. First of all, our PNP government to come after the 3rd of September will be a government for all Jamaicans. PNP, Labourite, No P, Christian, Rastafari, everybody. And the things that are now in place and that are being and that we think make sense to continue because they're in the best interest of the people of Jamaica and they are people focused and will help to deliver a better life, we will keep those things. But those things that we don't think are the priorities now, we will probably either defer or discard those things. And we will introduce the things that we have committed to in our manifesto. And that is how we're going to deal with that part of the budget, which is called programs, which is a decision of the government. Every government has to prioritize what they want to spend money on. And we will not be shackled by what the JLP have been doing for the last 10 years because the people want change and we have to deliver the change. And our manifesto has the things in it that the people want to see happen. So, for example, we are going to remove the tax from the hotel workers' tips and gratuity so that they take home, whether it be fortnightly or monthly, more money in them pocket. I have spoken to the hotel workers. I have been to see more than one hotel and talked to the workers, and they tell me they want to see that happen. This government promised it but didn't deliver it. We will deliver it within 90 days after we form government.
You're deaf? Do that and beat me. Do not 100 days, no, 90 days. Do that and beat me. Hotel worker on the day. Yo. I have to go over back that speech in the morning. Too much gems. No. I have to go over this back. No, sir. 90 days.
Similarly, all workers in this country who earn under $6 million a year and who earn overtime, right now they have to pay tax on that overtime. Whether you're a police officer or a security guard or a firefighter or a nurse or any other type of worker who gets overtime, the next PMP...
This was in Hanover. It was a spot meeting. So it wasn't like they were doing a road tour. So it wasn't like a big thing. But the whole lot of people did it yesterday, but I don't know how much vloggers actually covered this outside of Team PMP, YouTube, and maybe BOJ. I don't sure. So this might have passed some people, but I am definitely going to highlight it because a lot of people don't know this. The hotel workers and probably don't know this. 90 days. The first 90 days in power. No tax on tips. Come on, man. Talk to me.
Government is going to remove the tax from overtime pay, so you will put more in your pocket a month end.
And this is like instead of taking future profit for the government and giving persons $20,000, this is a more tangible plan that is going to affect people state of living, because it's hard. The cost of living is so high. The people need this type of relief. This is brilliant. This is actually brilliant. I have to applaud the People's National Party, to be honest with you. And it's not that, the PMP is not, it's not even the brilliance, it's that they care and they listen. The JLP pretends to listen and they pretend to care. But their actions is the opposite of those two things. They don't care and they don't even care to listen. It's just them listening to make you think so them are listening, and then when them going to power, you don't see them telling them I do this in 100 days and all, no, it don't happen. What the people want, they don't give to them. That's why the PMP is the People's National Party. Is what the people want them giving them. Why you think the people them so excited over the manifesto? Imagine you getting more money on your on in terms of your overtime and tips. When it comes to the housing plan and the land ownership plan that Mark Golin and the PMP has, it's going to open up cap space in a salary to make things shake. Leprechaun, how you doing? Right? It's going to open up cap space so you can actually do some things. And for the people them that is getting the land ownership, mighty God, the land titles. Oh no, hey, I want a piece of ball game when I get to the land title, Hey, can't go the bank and get to the loan. Jesus have mercy, I start to do business or build something else. What you talking about? The PMP is doing some excellent. Listen, I'm here to talk to my UIC family right now. I love the UIC family. Zine, like me say, Jamaicans are just not ready. They are not ready. Continue to do what you're doing, but they are not ready for the conversation that the UIC has. They're just not ready. They really aren't ready. They are not ready to put their money where their mouth is in that unified way. Because let me explain something about the UIC. The way the UIC is structured, the UIC doesn't want any money from the PSOJ. They don't. You understand? They want money from the people that they are working for, which is you. So the people would fund the UIC, and whatever they are doing in benefiting the people would come through your funding, as in before they go into government. When they go into government and they have the purse, obviously, but there's some constitutional changes that they want to make, and also governmental structural changes that they want to make. They want to move away from the monarch completely. They want to have a system where the prime minister is voted for upon his credentials. You have a finance minister. They don't want a party system. They want a individualized system. So Damian Crawford would go up against somebody else, and he wouldn't be representing a party. He would be going up against somebody else to be the minister of education. All right, and Julian Robinson would be going up against somebody else to be the minister of finance. And all those people, right, all those individuals would work together in unison as Jamaicans in all different ministries, right? And when it comes to accountability, the UIC is definitely in terms of the structure of all of that, because I read their manifesto. You know, it would be a situation where accountability would be at the top of the list. Impeachment, oh my goodness, Lord of mercy. So, some of the UIC people, when they hear the plans of the PNP, they say, those are UIC plans. That's literally UIC. And I'm saying, hey, are they good plans? You know what I'm saying? Are they good plans? Yes. Even if it's the UIC plan, are they good plans? That would be my question. I'm not going to debate whether it's the UIC plans or not, because the tit for tat where that is concerned is why we got to a place where the JLP and the PNP thing, and then people at each other's throat over a side. And at the end of the day, when the election is done, we're all Jamaicans, and I think we all should be voting for a government that has integrity, a government that has good character, sign the codes of conduct, a government that is not afraid to lock up their friends, a government that is not afraid to punish the people within their party that is found guilty of any skullduggery. You understand? And I got a clip of Mama P, Hold on there. I see where Mark Golden get this thing from. Mama P never want to run no joke, Mama P didn't run no joke. Listen.
When I was Minister of Labour, I am the only Minister of Government that took action when a Minister of Government did something that was against the law, that broke the law, that ended up with that Minister of Government going to prison. And my party knows, and my ministers, anyone that is caught involved in anything, breaking the law by way of corruption, I will take the strongest possible action. When
you think say Andrew can talk so loud and so with such conviction, like Mama P, so look on Fly Green, look on Dalrymple, look on George Wright, look on Bobby Mantico. He can't talk like this. Mummy say, Mama P say the people in my party know, so I not take no nonsense. Don't want that Marky G stay like going stay. Mama P done say the president's long time, no nonsense. Remember good no man? Remember say Marky G and Mama P prodigy, and she bring him in this, Well, I don't know about she bringing him into it. I think yeah, I believe so, but PJ had a role to play because he did bless up him father and name the place after him father, so that did kind of, Marky G is like, yo, Jano, we never have to do that. Mad respect. And then, looking at the ideals of the party now, and realize, say, the ideals and the thing of the party really go with field mission. You see me? So, big up Mama P, man. I tell her, man. I tell her.
We have tremendous plans for the youths. We're going to establish a youth innovation fund so that young people who want to become entrepreneurs and have an idea but can't get a start will get a bus under the funding from that fund. We're going to sort out persons with disabilities to give.
Marky G, I talk too fast. I know say you want to go, but you're not going to skip past where you just say a while ago. You're going to have a youth ability fund for youth that want to be entrepreneurs. We have an idea and don't have the funds to start it. Hey, let me tell you something, man. You know how much youth. I was that youth one time, you know, brother. I was that guy, you know. Remember those days, you know. Creative mind, ideas are flow, ambitious, no funding. I'm glad for the youth them. Hey, the youth them, I tell them, don't fumble double. Come out, come vote. Come out, come vote. As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, me really have a lot of yo, me gotta play it here, man. Me gotta find it. Only give me a second. Me I go find it. Give me a second. Me I go find it.
Them a chance as well, so they can make a life for themselves. Working from home if necessary, fixing the sidewalks, helping them with assistive aids, so they can participate fully in the life of the society of the country. That is what we are gonna do for them.
Alright, give me a second. I have to go on TikTok again. It's true me if I use the one phone now. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna just play this. I'm gonna go for the next one.
For persons who have been living on public land and don't have any security of tenure, they don't have no title for the land. The law that was passed after slavery that says you can't acquire title for publicly owned land unless you've been on it for 60 years. We're going to take that out of the law. We're going to reduce it to 25 years so that people can get their title. And for all the Operation Pride schemes across Jamaica, where there are any that are unfinished, and I've toured many of them, the infrastructure isn't complete or they don't have their titles. We are committed to completing those schemes, completing the infrastructure and getting you your titles. And any other informal settlements, we are going to bring similar solutions so that you can get infrastructure, get organized and get your titles and move those communities from informal settlements to proper communities where the people can have pride and have an address and own their own piece of land on the rock. We have plans for housing. We have plans for education. We have plans for agriculture. We have plans for healthcare. We have plans for every important area of life in the country to make this a better place for the people of Jamaica. We want to make it a stakeholder society. Owners, where the people who are now marginalized and do have a stake, they will be brought into the society and into the economy as owners under the next PNP government. Because we see that as a pathway to making our country wealthy, because we want to increase the productivity of our people by investing in our people, investing in training, investing in education, and uplifting the standard of our workers so they can get better jobs, attracting investment that can help to make sure that they earn a decent wage for what they do. Right now, so many people, even if they have a job, are living on the margins of existence.
Facts.
The minimum wages, although they reset it, it's still, if you're earning that, you have to be scraping along to make a living. And we are committed to transitioning that from a minimum wage to a livable wage, where you will work out what is the figure that is the basic minimum to have a decent life. And we're going to set it for the people at that level. So comrades, don't listen to the lies and the propaganda and the deceptions, please. Listen to what we are saying. Listen, read our manifesto. Watch the videos that we are sending out, which tell you what we're going to do. And stand firm, because they're going to come at you in all kind of ways. They're going to try to buy you out so you don't come and deliver what we are expecting of you. On the 3rd of September, we have to rise above that. It's a criminal offense to take any money in respect of election, buying or selling. We're not in a them thing there. Your vote is a sacred right. Our forefathers fought and blood, sweat, and tears for that right. Please, people, on the 3rd of September, do the right thing. Put your X beside the head for Andrea Perkis here in Eastern Hanover and deliver this seat for the People's National Party. You did it in the local government elections. You did it. Every single division in the parish is now held by the PNP. And I know you can do it for the national elections, so I can have 2 lovely, powerful women capable women, brilliant women, determined women, committed women with me in Garden House. Comrades, I have a long way to go. I'm heading back to Kingston. The word is love. Power to the people. God bless you all.
I tell you, boy. I tell you. Big up Mark Golden. So this is gonna be my curtain close. And anybody wants this clip right here?
Today we need to talk about.
Listen. Her name is Life of Chanel. All right. And this, to me, I think every vlogger should be playing this every single day till it rings. Like when you start a show, you have to play this. This girl brought receipts. I'm not even gonna listen. I was screaming at the top of when I was listening to this, I was punching the ear like, yes, yes, yes. She was hitting on all cylinders. And she wasn't speaking from a place of, oh, it was just opening up, trying to open up the minds of the people. They're like, yo, you realize what is actually happening versus what they are saying is happening. Let's look at the reality. Here are the facts. Listen to this.
Truth, because there's progress, real genuine progress, and then there's what looks. Today we need to talk about truth because there's progress, real genuine progress, and then there's what looks like progress. I'm talking about perception. If you are a citizen of this country, this video might be one of the most important videos you watch this year because it will literally change the very trajectory of your life, your finances, your health, your family, your country. If you're watching this, I'll try my best not to make it too long, but please watch it all the way to the end and share it and repost it so that people can make an informed decision. And by the way, I have notes written down, so if you see me looking down, it's because I want to make sure that I'm covering the real things. Number one, now everybody here, most of you here watching, would have taken CXC or CSEC at some point in time. But did you know that in 2015, for people who had more than 5 subjects, including math and English, we're talking about basic stuff here, or pass rate, was 38.6%. That was 38.6%. Do you know what it is today? 19.2. That's 19.2% of people are passing 5 subjects or more, including math and English. That is crazy. And here's a receipt to show. 19.2% of that is crazy to me. That is crazy to me. And you know that this is going to have a knock-on effect on our economy, everything in our society moving forward. This can, like, 19.2% of people passing 5 subjects or more, including math and English, when it used to be 38.6. 10 years later, we've gone down. That's wild. But let's talk about number 2. What about our healthcare system? Now, we may not talk about the 24 babies and that died and the families that have been impacted by that, but let's talk about just health in general, okay? How many people here have had a family member that has been sick, really badly ill, or maybe you yourself have gone through an ailment or an illness? Imagine something is wrong with you and you have to leave from one side of the island to go to the other side of the island just to get help, The Cornwall Regional Hospital, it was supposed to cost $5 billion with a B, and I'll put the screenshots in of the article so you guys can see these things. Do you know how much it's costed so far? $24 billion, and it's still not complete 8 years later, to the point where people have to be leaving from Mobay to go to Kingston. Now, again, if you've ever had a family member, an elderly relative, a family member, or you yourself has been sick, imagine having to go from one side of the island just to get basic care. It's ridiculous. And from this article, you can see it says, every delay is a risk to someone's life. We cannot normalize this. Or people deserve modern care, dignity, and a system that actually works. We're not talking about blocks and steel. This is about survival. People have died sitting on chairs waiting to be seen. Guys, this is crazy to me. Let's talk about number 3. So that's our health, education, health. Let's talk about our employment and unemployment. Unemployment is down, but is it really? Did you know that in 2024, they changed the metric by which and how they are calculating unemployment? So now, if you work one hour, let me just read this because me still can't. 1 hour a week, you're not considered unemployed. Not only that, they've shrunk the age range of people that they will check for unemployment. So there's less people even being checked in that statistic. And also, if you're somebody who you've literally given up because you're not able to find work and you've given up on the job search, you are not even counted in the unemployment statistics. So they've literally changed what unemployment means in 2024. So unemployment is down to the point where even statistics, they said that you cannot use these current statistics, like the way how it's being checked now, to compare to what it was before, because it's two different things. And here's a screenshot. Here are the screenshots, and you can go and do your own due diligence and look up these things. So unemployment is down. Is this progress? When we're changing what things mean, how is that progress? And maybe you're saying, all right, I don't really care about the unemployment. Maybe you're saying you don't really care about the healthcare because maybe you're healthy and and maybe you don't really care about the education because you're already educated. But let's talk about your money. Let's talk about where your money is going. Did you know that every year, the Ian Fleming Airport loses 1.73 million US dollars? I'm not talking about Jamaican dollars, I'm talking about US dollars. Because the airport only sees 2 flights per week, and your tax dollars are being used to subsidize the seats on American Airlines. And again, here is the receipt. Let's talk about where else your money is going. We all saw the Morant Bay Urban Center. Now, who here was excited about it? Because #development, yay, progress. But did you know that the municipal corporation, was currently paying $300,000 Jamaican dollars per month for their rent, when they're moved there, their rents will be going up to $10 million per month, from $300,000 to $10 million per month. Who do you think is paying for that? So we're happy about the development, but you know what's not happy? Your pocket not happy. But we said progress. And again, this is according to Jamaica Gleaner article of July 11, 2025. Number 6, let's talk about where your money is not going. Let's talk about where your money is not going. It's not going to you owning your own house. So since 2018, the National Housing Trust has never produced more than 2,700 housing solutions. And again, here's the article from the Jamaica Observer from April 7, 2024. And again, you can look this up yourself. I just need you to be informed about what it looks like versus what it is. Bear in mind, 2,700 solutions, when a report was made in Parliament that they will be doing 15,000. 2023, they only delivered 1,627 solutions. 15,000, 1,627 solutions. And at the same time, they're generating a surplus of $21.8 billion with a B for the financial year 2023 to 2024. The same year when only 1,627 solutions were delivered. But yet still in Parliament, they're talking about 15,000. They're producing less than 0.18% of completions compared to the working population. And again, the Jamaica Observer article from April 7, 2024. Does this sound like progress to you? Where do you live? Are you renting or are you owning? Because there's what it looks like and then there's what it is. Now, let's talk a little bit about this, what it looks like versus what it is. And I'll run through these quickly because again, I'm not trying to take up your whole day. In the Book of Achievements, they mention that they set up and funded an integrity commission to fight corruption. Now, the irony is not lost on me because, is me alone find it funny? Because the Integrity Commission's documentation, the actual website, and again, here's a screenshot because this is all there. If you don't look at what it looks like, but you look at what it is, this is what it says. Integrity Commission, the same one that's in the Book of Achievements, it says, it is an offense to file a declaration late, file a false declaration, or fail to provide information requested by the organization. And me says so. Here's the document that was mentioned in my Integrity Commission. It's in the Book of Achievements. There's what it looks like, and then there's what it is. And not to mention what you hear about progress and prosperity versus what you experience firsthand when you're on the roads, when you're in the supermarkets, and in your day-to-day lives. There is what it looks like, and there's what it is. So where do we go from here? I need you to understand what progress is versus perception. And I also want to make sure you understand your role in this happening. When you do not vote, you make up over 60% of this population who did not vote, who allowed for these things to carry on. This will affect your life. This will affect your family. This will affect your health. This will affect your finances if you haven't already started feeling it yet. So my only call to action to you is for left your yard and vote. On election day, left your yard and vote. We cannot have a situation again where 37% of the population determines what happens to the entire 100%. It cannot happen again. Left your yard and vote. And when you vote, I need you to vote based on reality, not perception. Thank you for watching.
She's my new favorite on TikTok. She doesn't do politics, but this is the most neutral, fact-based video I have seen. I love the way how she framed it. Perception, your reality. Her name is Life of Chanel. See it there. This is her page. God of mercy. Life of Chanel on TikTok. All right. I'm telling you, I am playing that video for every single live stream I do going up to the election. Every single live stream, bro. Vote reality, not perception. What is your reality? Look how she break it down. Education. All right, you're educated already. You're not really busy about education. Your health is you're not busy about nobody else's health. What about your money, though? What about your money? Are you renting or are you owning? You have no way for yourself? Do you own any land? Like, what are you Bro, this girl just, I'm telling you, all the facts that she put up, the articles.
Today we need to talk about truth because there's progress, real.
Like literally. Let me, yeah, this is too big. Yeah, let's see. Why is it doing that, bro? Damn. I need a video. I want to fast forward, but it's not giving me that option. I can't find the cursor. It's too low. I don't understand why that's happening. Oh, there it is. I have to make it bigger. Perfect. All right, so all right, so all right. This I'm impressed with. She had a reference for everything she was saying, you know. Anita, Yebo, how are you doing? She has a reference for everything she's saying, all the articles.
Let's talk about number 3. So that's our health, education, health. Let's talk about our employment and unemployment. Unemployment is down, but is it really?
Yo, I'm telling you.
Before they change the metric by which and how they are calculating unemployment.
I've been trying to explain this to people and I hope they get it through their thick skull, you know. I hope that I told them, you know, the unemployment rate calculation has changed. You cannot compare unemployment 2016 to now. You cannot compare it. They recently changed it. So if you are, and I said this on my live many times, that's why when I was listening to her, I was thumping the air because I was like, yes, thank you. Thank you for putting it into perspective, the way how you did it and showed the actual articles. That was beautiful. Listen to this part alone.
So now, if you work one hour.
1 hour.
Let me just read this because me still can't. Me,
1
hour a week.
Yes.
You're not considered unemployed. Not only that, they've shrunk the age range of people.
So if you work 1 hour a week, you are considered employed. And I remember a video where Andrew Ones said, you know, you're employed, so no, you have to save. Save what out of 1 hour a week? Save what? You can't even save out of, listen. Man, that's upsetting. No, me see why right man go get mad sometime. Him say some things, you know. You would have loved to see him maneuver with our minimum wage. I would see how would he survive? How would he survive? Talking about unemployment rate is down and it's the lowest it has ever been. Sir, you cannot compare it to the past because it is calculating different significant. People that are not seeking a job is not considered unemployed. That's one of the biggest things. When you hear them say, oh, it's 3.3% and it's getting lower. And they use that as something to tell the labor at them, yeah, man, we are perform. And them believe, you know. Them believe. Yo, Jesus have mercy, Father God. Please open the eye, lift up the veil. I know some of them not going to see it, Father God, but I'm begging you. Please open up them brain and make them have understanding and wisdom. No, man, people may leave, you know, because I have one video premiere right now at 4 a.m. And I actually the 2 hours, I can't believe. So I gave you guys a full morning show this morning. I hope other people catch a replay. Blessings to everybody that came through. Special blessings to the persons that hit the like button. Thank you guys so much for that. You're the real MVPs, and I'm out. Peace.